like YouTube is upset with something. Not it is starting. Hang on, Augustine. Give them time. They got a process. AI learning software has to determine if this. There you go. There you go. The angry faces. There we go. Man, because people hate change. There you go. I don't know why that makes me so happy. I love it. I love to see angry faces because change hurts. Some people want to slow down, so I got the speed limit right there. People don't like utopia. Oh no, hell no, I don't like no change. I don't bring no change around this part. That's how you know when you're affecting people. You see angry faces. Change. I love it. I love it. Hang on, let me post my status. Let me post my status. I gotta think about it. Hold on. Big business, not government. Don't contribute to society. They contribute to themselves from it. Right. This only ends in oh, that sounds grammatically correct enough, and it looks like it's mostly spelled correctly. Good morning. Okay, YouTube should be going, Augustine. Let's put the comments down there. It just takes a minute to start, brother. They have to figure out what the hell is he talking about this morning. Are they talking about ending the system? Yeah, I am. Utopianism is always ending the system. I think it's a lifestyle. It's a destination and a lifestyle. It's both. But you always live in a perceived utopia to previous generations. Go back 100 years and you will know what I mean. Go back 200 years and you will really process. Go back 300 years, you'll be like, yep, I love today. I love it today. I mean, it doesn't mean that the bad things don't exist. The dark things are still happening. They just made them legal. But if you can convince and enslave a species, oh my goodness, you can steal the next generation's gain. GDP. All the big corporations. All right, I posted my status. I'm gonna try to bring that up and see, get all mad and everything. You don't like money. No, actually, I don't like money. It's not money. Like I said, I don't care anything about money. Yes, Lori's a journey. I don't care anything about money. What I care about is like living. Why are we here? Are we doing anything beneficial? And they confused a lot of people and got them to chase money. That's stupid. So I'm not anti-money. It's just, once again, it's what it does to a species that's enslaved. It's designed, it's just human labor. That's all it is. It represents human labor. And the more human labor you have, the less you got to do. And it's a means of enslaving people. And so we have to grow up first. We got to evolve. Maybe we can bring money back in 1,000 years or something. Not right now. No, this is not a plug for socialism. Where my socialism people? Socialism! Communism! Nope, not on your side. Not on your side. Nope, sorry. The elite like that system too. Both of them are fake news and models designed to have leaders in government. That's stupid. You got leaders in government. Utopia is never coming because the big government likes steal utopia too. Here's my status. Where's my status? I have a screen for my status. Boom, boom. There it goes. Boom, boom, boom. This is gonna piss people off today. Boom, 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 ba-da-dum. Oh, you like my music? I like the music. It's not my music. I didn't make it. And actually, you know what? And this is on topic too, because the music sucks, actually. This music sucks. It sucks. Why you play it all day? Why you play it every broadcast? It sucks. Because the person who made this music is enslaved to the same system I am. So I know that the music ain't as good as it could be if that person were free. I posted it this morning. I said, let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. If you did not have to work today, some of y'all don't have to work, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you be doing right now if you didn't have to work? If you didn't have to have the career that you have, because everybody say, what'd you do for a living? I love it. I do this. Shut up. Listen. Would you do it for free? Free, 100%. If you could go back in time, and this is mostly the people who are like discovering who they are and discovering their passions, what would you do? And I asked the question because I'm curious. I'm curious because I think there are enough human beings to make everything work without government. I do. I think that it's a design. I think we're always being preyed upon it. We need to start thinking about this thing like a predator-prey relationship. Stop pretending like that we're friends. Big government is not your friend. It's literally a slave master. Oh, let me show you my earlier status. I was thinking myself this morning. Hold on. Before people start to get fussing at me on that one. Your leaders. Oh, y'all see. This was a throwback. Who was this? It's Patricia said an organized crime syndicate pretending to be government. Anybody know who that is? Anybody know who that is? Anybody know who that is? Who might actually be a organized crime syndicate that everybody keeps voting for, pretending to be a government? Anybody ever heard of them? I know. No, the vote people here, the vote people, they like to get upset. They don't like to hear that. Nobody likes to break out in their indoctrination. Speaking of that, I was actually in a good conversation with a sister yesterday, trying to do some live streams, and I was trying to tell her, she was like, well, how come, I don't have a lot of people watching my live streams? And I kind of looked and I just said, well, because you're trying to wake people up. You have the wrong model. If you want a lot of people watching you, you want to get big and popular and famous, get on TV and all that stuff, you got to pick a team. Indoctrinate, like waking up indoctrinated people, you'll never get popular. If you're doing something like this, trying to like tell the black people they're not black and the white people they're not white, the yellow people they're not yellow, and Christians not really Christian, Muslims are not Muslim, you're just gonna get a lot of hate. You gotta get used to getting cussed out. I get cussed out all the time. Not as much as I used to. Oh, you gotta get used to it. You will not get popular trying to wake slaves up. Hell no. Harry Tubman told you that. All right. So I just said, well, think about what you want to do. If you want to be popular, you need to go be something and work for the Rothschilds and be one of the races of religions or something. If you just want to like do your part, try to help people, and you want to wake them up from indoctrination, you got to get on the full armor. We say the full armor of God. You got to get on the full armor of God, soul, Buddha, Shiva, the universe, microbiology, fungi, Gaia, all of them. Where the angry faces? I don't see the angry. Oh, so this is my stats from earlier. Because people, they don't know half the time. I'm just like, y'all, we in slavery. They're like, no, I'm not, I'm free. I'm like, we in slavery. Nah, I'm free. You're in slavery. All they did was trick you. When you have a few people, they call it slavery, a few unfortunate people. When they make everybody unfortunate and everybody has to go to work, everybody has to do forced labor and buy slavery in the form of coin from other people and get it from your boss, guess what? You're a slave. All right, you are. And it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. All right, let me get that off. I'm going to talk about utopia. Because I'm a utopianist. I am definitely a utopianist. I believe in paying it forward. I believe in taking care of more of the next generation than my damn self. I believe in taking care of the next generation more than big government. I believe in taking care of the next generation more than big corporations. All right? Dying with the most numbers in your bank account, the digital figures, that's not, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. All right, utopia. We can look at the news if you want. I actually want to talk about utopia and utopianism. I'm gonna do my best to read as many comments as I can. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I get too busy when I get to ranting. I'm trying to throw a topic out and get people talking. Good morning, everybody. Happy Freedom Friday. Everybody feel free today? Free! Got the weekend. What y'all doing this weekend? So I asked a question. I asked another question on my third. I was trying to find out, what would you do if you didn't actually have to work right now? What would you be doing? Where would you be going? If you didn't have to have your career, what would you be doing? I know what I would be doing. Like I've said it many billion times before, I'd be growing food for millions of people. I would be a high-tech engineer, making automated growth systems and robotics, feeding millions of people. Millions. How much you want to get paid to do it? Nothing. Why would I want to get paid to do my passion? You know how stupid that is? That's just dumb. I don't want to get paid to do that. Why would I want to get paid to take care of the next generation? Why would I want to get paid to take care of the person who made this free, it's not free, royalty-free music? Why would I want to get paid for that? That's stupid. I want them to eat so they can make better music. Her sister said on the thread, what was one of the answers was she wants to go to Wyoming and watch the wolves. Not watch the wolves, something like that. I was like, yeah, you should do that. Uh-oh, is that the wrong music again? That's the wrong music. You should go do that. You should go watch the wolves, study them, I said, and learn things. And when you learn things, you can tell her. She said, well, I kind of just want to look at them. Okay. Because it brings me joy. Well, you should look at them then. Yeah, do that. Do that. And you don't actually have to tell us anything. I would have joy in just feeding you and doing that. Why? Because it's weird. Like when you start discovering yourself, You start discovering your passions and what you want to do, and it's your passions that make you excited. You know, it's like gardening. I love doing it. There's something about seeing now my tomatoes are starting to wake the hell up because all this daggone rain and mold and stuff. They're starting to wake up. I'm seeing tomatoes popping out. I'm seeing big old peppers. I'm cutting some of these things back. I gotta change some things because it's a bit of a moldy, rainy season here, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Why do I want to get paid to do something that I love? That's stupid. I can't wait to get up in the morning, see who's growing, who's popping out, stratify some seeds. I love doing that. There's something going back about taking care of people. I think it's something ingrained in who we are. If you're doing your passionate thing, you don't actually want to get paid for it. Like, to me, that would lower the value. If I were making permaculture automated grow systems, because nothing can grow better in permaculture than high technology, and I'm willing to, anybody, well, I don't want to debate you. I'm not trying to debate anybody. It's just people who don't understand what automation is. They don't understand the methodical nature of what automation and learning software can do, growing in diverse microbiology, diverse conditions. Did you get all that? Human can't do it. That's what I'm gonna say. Human suck at permaculture. Human suck. Human sucks at permaculture. All right, let's just be clear. The healthiest way to grow food is to cultivate nature. Nature's made up of different, like billions of different inputs. Robots are better at it. Now they suck at it too, though. They suck at it. But they're a hell of it than millions of times better than what. That's what I would do for free. Not want any money. I wouldn't want to dime for it. I think that you have enough humans in enough positions that want to do enough things that if you just left everybody alone, I don't think the world would stop. It would keep going. Ooh, I'm watching a new show. I'm watching a new show on Netflix called The Society. Interesting. All the kids in some school bus trip magically disappear from sucky society, from slave dimension. And they're like in another dimension or something, or another planet or something. With the same city, the city's replicated, but there's nothing but woods around them. And they're trying to stitch together and forge a society, kind of like ours. And, there are people who want to go the violent route, force and power, greed and domination controls the weak. And others are like, well, let's work together and everybody, we're running out of food, and I think we got to do that. I think that's utopianism. I think when you look out for each other, it's called being a steward. You'll never have utopia in your lifetime, I don't think, but you can live well, and you can guarantee your kids have a perceived utopia to what you have, which is utopia to what the others had. No, it's not a spoiler, Lori. I'm just kind of sharing with people, like, where a lot of these thoughts are coming from. But it looks like a good show. I think television and stories and movies and books, there's always a point to something. There's always a point. Like even people, there's always a point to people. Everybody has something to teach you. You're like the deplorables, your politicians, the children pretending to be adults calling people deplorables. Nobody is a deplorable. Everybody has something to offer. And if you spend enough time trying to get to know people, you might actually find out what they know that you don't. I don't even know if we're gonna go to the news. I'm gonna look at some comments, but I'm just curious, what would you do if you were free? What would you do if you weren't in slavery? I know sometimes the politicians like to join, they're probably joining like, if you calling my world a slavery world. Yeah, it is. You're giving everything to big corporations. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should pay it forward to the biological creatures, not to the massive governments. All right. You have a big government, you got big corporations, and it's not the government though, it's not the corporation, it's the model of something that's not human and biological, something you're not supposed to be a steward for, and you're stewarding it. Anytime you got anything that can enslave humanity, it always will try. It's a requirement. Good morning. Oh, I have my coffee. Thank you, Walt, for reminding me. I have my coffee right here. Like, oh, you don't need no more coffee. Nah, I do. I'm gonna read comments today. I'm gonna read comments and we'll see where it goes. Let me see. Looking at it like you posted it this morning is genius, though. Oh, looking at it like you posted it this morning is I was genius, Brenda. I missed that. I don't know what that is. When people prefer hell to utopia. Do people prefer hell, Lori? Like, do they prefer hell or do they not know they're in hell? See, I think they don't know they're in hell. I think that, what is that saying? Pigs don't know pigs stink. I think pig people stink. That's what it is. I just don't think Democrats know what they smell like. I don't think Republicans know what they. I don't think Americans know what they smell like. I think Christians have not sniffed under them armpits. I don't think that I don't think that people in these groups know what they smell like. I think from a 30,000 foot level, when you're not in these groups, you can start to realize, oh, ooh, oh. Did y'all put on deodorant last generation? Because if you look back, ooh. I think that's what it is. I don't think people know that they're in hell. Oh, there's another question. Get religious folk upset. I heard this a long time ago, but I heard it recently in a lecture. They were talking about how the rapture was added to Scripture. That the rapture actually was not in Scripture. That nobody's coming to save you. Nope, the aliens and the white horses, seals, the seals aren't going to open up from the other dimension and the UFOs come through. They're not actually coming to save you. The gods ain't coming back. You got to save yourself. You got to save the next generation, a big corporate. But we like to know things are coming to save us so we can be immature. We don't actually have to save ourselves. That way we can just sit back and let the government roll out utopia. Coming, y'all. 30 miles an hour. Wait, 30, that's the wrong sign. It's right. 30 miles an hour, utopia is coming. Big corporations going, bring us utopia. No, baby. No, big corporations have no interest in utopianism. Utopianism is a lifestyle. Only you can do it. It's about you taking power from other things that take power from humanity. That's it. Not voting for them. Taking power from other things that are taking power and toys and goodies from the next generation. Let me see. You didn't have to hear about all the bad things. I missed that, Brenda. I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Y'all responded back. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm okay. Let me see. Money is the carrot. Oh, isn't it, Walt? Oh, and it's a delicious carrot too, isn't it? You see the things you can buy with money? Oh, it's a delicious carrot. That made me think of something. Let me show you something. Money is a delicious carrot. But they make slavery taste nutritious, don't they? They make slavery, ooh, slavery feels good. Let me show you this. But I think, Brother Walt's got me thinking about like my childhood. Somebody posted something. Who is this? Grow Food, Not Lawns. They posted this. Let me show it to you. It got me thinking about money and the goodies and the shiny things they give to us monkeys that like 98% monkeys that like shiny stuff that we jump for all the time. I think this is it right here. Look at this. This had me thinking about my childhood, right? Let me get my face from behind. You see this? Wait, keep going. Where the layer? Nope, it's not at the bottom. I got to bring my face to the top. Let me do that. Let me try that. I had the wrong one. Like, what is this saying? I posted this, and I remember all the things that my parents bought me. No, actually I didn't. All the things for Christmas, I don't remember any of those. I was thinking about all the things that I really enjoyed as a kid. I mean, money buys a lot of toys, but I can't remember half of them. I remember the green machine, I remember the big wheel, I think I remember a tricycle, but that's it. The things that I really remember, I remember when I made a robot out of a box, the cardboard box, either another toy or washing machine or something came in, I don't remember. I remember when I took a box and I made a cockpit of an F-4 fighter jet because my father used to work on airplanes. I wanted to be a pilot and all of that stuff. It was in Civil Air Patrol. Now I remember that. I remember making forts out of tent forts out of blankets and just old ratty stuff that's thrown around. But in terms of like the electronic slavery tools and toys, I don't remember none of that crap. I don't remember none of it. It wasn't even fun. There's something about taking something and doing something with it, like creativity. And maybe it locks in that, what is that, dendrite connection or the neuron pathway, and you go to it a lot more, right? And so the reason I remember, Brother Walt, like the things, the dirt, the rocks, the sticks, the time I made a boat versus buying the boat is because, and I was 14 when I made my first boat. It's too damn heavy, and I think my father knew. Bought me. He was like, oh Lord, he gonna make a boat. He bought a book. He bought me the book though. He bought me a book, How to Make a Boat Out of Wood. And I'm just, oh man, I thought I was, who was it, Geppetto? I thought I was, no, I was making the ark, Walt. I was making that ark, and it didn't occur to me how heavy this damn thing was. And I lived about a mile from the Potomac River. That project ended when I made the hull and I made the frame, and I was like, ew. I lifted it up, like, oh, this ain't. But I remember that boat. I remember making the hull and remember reading the book, remember this is not going to work. And I think there might have been an episode on This Old House or something that happened. Maybe that's gave me the idea. And after I realized how heavy a wood dam boat is, that I can't be a colonizer on the open seas of the Potomac River doing some fishing, I took the money from my first job and I bought a 10-foot game fisher aluminum boat because I could make a trolley and get that to the Potomac River. But I remember all of that. I remember the dirt, the rocks, the sticks, the buckets, the cardboard boxes, the things where I had to use creativity. But all the slave crap that money bought, I don't remember most of that. I know I had toys that made noise and I had, things like that. I remember the block toys. I remember the wooden toys. Because when I was a kid, we still had the wood. Y'all remember the wooden trucks? The young people they played with wood. We used to have the wooden trucks, and they were, the wooden truck had the wooden wheel and it had a little doll. Anyway, all right, let me keep going. I'm off. Walt, you got me thinking, but I think we all have similar experiences, right? I think experience is everything, But money, it's a tool to get us to treasure things that we actually don't want, things we won't even remember. I don't even remember all of the high-tech toys I had. I have to really think about them to remember. But I'm always keying in on the memories that are positive. Because when you got to make stuff, I think you need other people. Brother Walt, you sending me in a place today. You need other people. And it's people and experiences and being social and creative, wanting to share with your friends because you made something. Look, y'all making a boat. Check this out. I'm making a boat. Come let me. Y'all can help me lift it up or whatever. And you're excited about it. But when you got slaves that are 8 years old in another nation making, you're not that interested. You don't want to share, do you? No, I got this G.I. Joe, the Kung Fu grip. I got the aircraft carrier. I don't want to share with nobody. Like, y'all come over to my house, we can play together. But I ain't going to share it with you. But when you make things and you're creative doing the things that human beings have always done, you want to share. And I think that creates powerful memories. Memories that we always want to tap back into. Oh, Walt, you sent me somewhere. You just connected all that together. Beautiful. It's beautiful. But utopia. Let me take that off. But utopia, it does exist, but they always convince you it doesn't. And so, like Lori said, they get you to embrace hell. They get you to embrace hating Monday. They get you to embrace only being happy on Friday. They get you to embrace only living free-ish Saturday and Sunday with your family and your kids. They literally rob us of life. They rob us of the utopia that we could have, the perceived utopia from 3 generations ago that they all worked, struggled, and died for. And we deny ourselves it today. I don't know. And it is a hell, Lori. It is a hell. I'm a mechanic, and there's no way I would do this if... Okay. Brother, Travis, it just scrolled up. I just missed it. I need to move down. So I think you were going to say, there's no way I would do this if money weren't free. And you shouldn't. See, to me, that's how we identify we're in the wrong line. Wrong line of work. We're living a lie. No, we got to live a lie. We don't have a choice because I can't grow your food yet. Because the people who love to do that aren't allowed to do that for you yet because they're trapped in other careers that they hate or they're not supposed to be doing. They're not living their real selves. They're not living their passion, But I think if you really thought about what you would do if you were free, like if you don't know what you would do, you need to spend more time for yourself. You need to spend more time trying other things. But we're all locked into lies of a life. We are the only species that doesn't try to make a utopia for the next generation. We just try to rob our neighbors or our border, across the other border. And I think we're missing something. I think we're missing a lot. I think we're missing ourselves. Good morning, Debbie. Let's see. It never has been a communist country because of the term is an oxymoron, because it was still a nation state. The people have never the government. Nation state people have never the government in the industrialized modern times. Had absolutely no stake in the technology resources it means to participate in their community supply chain, much less to act for their own personal sovereignty. And I agree. And Beaufont, they'll never let you have it. Never let you have it. They won't let you have it. How does that In Vogue song go? Never gonna get it, 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 never. I'm sorry, but they're never going to let us get it, right? They'll never let us have free market capitalism, which to me sounds like a great idea on paper. They'll never let us have communism, which sounds like a great idea on paper. They'll never let us have socialism, which is a great idea on paper. But we got this crony, which is what he's talking about, the nation state. You got this crony leadership thing. You got this cronyism. We need to rob the next generation, the excess. Instead of paying it forward, we need to keep it. So I don't like any of their models. I agree with you. It's never been done, and I honestly, but I don't ever want it done. I don't want it done. not in that package, right? And not in that package. I think that everybody can have everything they want because now we got the robots and the automation to do it. I think that we don't need a model. Why? You know what? Let me ask you a question. Does it have to have a name? Do we have to give a name to being a steward of the planet? Can we just call it nothing? Can we call it that? Just it doesn't have to have a name. Because you know, when you give it a name, people want to fight it. I like the word steward. I was going to call it stewardship. You know, because to me, it's supposed to key in on the people raised in the church that got them little Bibles. They like to carry them. They like to pretend like they're being stewards by bombing other people and stealing and robbing from them. But let's just not give it a name because it triggers people. It doesn't have to have a name. We can point. We can point at every other species on the planet: the bears, the monkeys, the rabbits, the bonobos, everything. All what they're all doing. They're trying to make a utopia. They're trying to make times better for the next generation. Is that Patricia? Hey, Patricia. You know what? You sent me. I was watching the video this morning she sent me. You know, San Diego has 80 community gardens now. Why would San Diego do that? Well, I don't think San Diego did it, but the people did it. We need to replicate that by 240 million. How many people live in America? 200. You don't actually have to have land to garden. It's an important thing to do, people. You need to get together and start doing it. Times to always shift. That bad always comes back around. You know, when people don't have food, you're gonna get some bad behavior out of it. Let me see. Todd Rundgren was in Utopia. Okay, I don't know who Todd Rundgren is. We have to maybe look him up. I have a group called the Quest for Utopia. Yes, Kim, because it's a quest. It's a quest. You know, like you do things that are utopian-ish for other people. They feel great. You know, sometimes utopia is when you give somebody $100. People are like, they're trying to fathom that. If you can't fathom that, it's because you're privileged. That's why. Sometimes $100 to a homeless person that in their whole life all they had was $5 for their whole year, that's utopia. Man, they can live forever on that. Utopia is a relative thing. It's a relative thing. We live right now in an unimaginable, fantastical universe. Man, super utopia to somebody 300 years ago. So it's always there, but it's a pay it forward concept, right? Like it's a lifestyle of making sure the future of the thing you are will be better off than what you are. But it means you got to be solving problems to do that. It means not fighting other people, other post people. You're solving problems and at the root cause, which is why I love the fact that San Diego has 80 community gardens. Because to me, the gardening is solving a problem. And it makes you feel good to solve problems, and that's why the people who love to provide and garden and cook for you, they feel good when you eat it. They feel good when they see that tomato pop and that red color come out, or a stripy tomato. It makes them feel good because that's their passion. And we don't know where these things even come from. But taking care of each other is ingrained in the core of all of us. They just suppress that to get us to go make money. I want to go off the grid, Daniel. You should be off the grid. Nobody should be on the grid. We should have gridded out a long time ago. This grid is destroying the planet. Why the hell do we even still have a grid? I don't think we should call it going off grid, Daniel. Can we just call it? We don't not put names in anything. Just call it that, because they even made off grid a bad thing. We just call it, doing what the other creatures do, living within an ecosystem, acting like you're within the ecosystem, living component-based civilizations, so everybody's okay. Speaking about living component-based, my example is always Puerto Rico. Why did 3,000 people die, which is the same amount of people on 9/11, it's probably more than that, when the power went out, when a storm came, because they weren't sustainable. Because we locked them in to make sure that they can't take care of themselves if bad times happen. You need to be a part of a community garden. You need to grow something, and you need to know how to make things with your hands or whatever. If we are like component-based societies that aren't really off-grid but are strong, you can't even have to call it off-grid. Just call it strong. Just call it independent, maybe. If we go back to being those things, then when calamity comes, somebody always survives, and there's always someone here to lift up the other communities that aren't doing so well. But if you can put people on this grid thing, this matrix thing, which served its purpose, don't get me wrong. People like water, electricity, and things like that. There's always a better way, which was hidden from you. But you can make dependent people. If you make people dependent, it makes you more powerful. That's what big corporations want, right? That's what bankers want. That's what government wants. It's not a bad thing. They're going to get away with what you let them get away with. They're going to get away with what you cheer and what you vote for. And so that's what they do. But the off-grid concept is you just taking care of yourself, taking care of your neighbors, and your neighbors taking care of you. That is a sustainable model for a planet that always seems to find calamity. A planet where civilizations, all of 99.99% of them have all collapsed. I catch flack for the whole free energy thing, but I tell them, it's like, all right, well, enough humans told you that we have free energy, and the government classifies the patents where the engineers say that they made free energy, that they made highly powerful solar panels that are over 60% efficient, but government is keeping those patents classified. And then I just ask a simple question: would a government that keeps would a government that keeps energy patents hidden from people who die because they don't have energy, are they on your side? Is that somebody you vote for? And not only that, if a government will hide human technology from you, do you think if a UFO ever came here and crash landed, hashtag Area 51, y'all don't go there? Do you actually think they'd share alien technology with you? They're not sharing human technology with you. They're not sharing Lockheed Martin technology. Do you actually think they would share let's say no alien ships crashed. Let's say the aliens just got here. Let's say Roswell just happened, aircraft thing just boom, just whatever, just crashed into the ground just now. Do you think the American government would tell you? Do you think the British government, do you think the Russian, do you think that your leaders would actually tell you? They don't tell you what you create. If you're the engineer who made free energy, they don't even let you use it. If you are the maker of that solar panel that's 60% efficient, you made that, or you're the maker of that. I met a guy the other day. He's what does they call it when you turn water into hydrogen engines, whatever they're called. If you're a guy who made that, after you make it and you go for your patent, what do you think they're going to do? They classify the patent. Not even you get to make what you made. Not even you get to use it, because at that point you have to destroy it. If you don't destroy it and it's classified, you go to prison. They can kill you for that. That's treason. That's why I don't believe in government. Not damn sure don't believe in voting. All right, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about utopia. Because part of this quest for utopia is not hiding technology. Damn sure not energy technology. Making things better for the next generation is freeing them from what enslaves us. And if energy and gravity enslave us, then voting for your leaders who are hiding these things, they're not on your side. Let's say that they damn sure aren't on your kid's side. You really want to piss a parent off? Do something to their child. Obviously. But people don't see it. People don't see it. That's why I give analogies. I try to get people thinking. You and I need not to be good at everything. Rather, we can all be good at cooperating, sharing. Right, Ron? And like, cause nobody's good at anything. Nobody's best at anything. Ron, you know the besters? Like, there's a lot of besters. I still have bester friends. They're still trying to be the best at stuff. I'm like, y'all know best don't exist, right, Ron? I'm like, best literally is fake news. You're not the best at nope. You're not the best at anything. Nope. I got a son. I have a son, he wants to beat everybody at everything. Love to death. All right, but it's funny. You're not the best at anything. No matter what you're good at, there's always someone better. And if you're better at the best at that moment, you're the best tennis player or something, somebody just did something a moment ago and they're the best at that. But even outside of that, if nobody's competing at that level and you think you're the best, it wasn't a fair competition. There's no equal competition ever. We live on a planet and every game, every contest, everything has so many different variables, different muscle structures, different pavement, if you're racing, different tennis shoes. There's so many different variables. There's no such thing as you being the best at anything. There's so many different factors, right? We live on a planet of chaos where everything is dynamic and constantly changing. You're not the best at anything, so why would you care to be the best at anything? Like Brother Ron said, just be a part of a cooperative. Be good at something. I can do this sort of kind of good and I'm going to do it and take care of the people with it. Why do you got to be the best? Like it's that model in survival of the fittest, in competition and competing. And this is the issue I have with team sports, right? Teaching kids team sports. Because you teach them to be the best. You're the best around. Nothing's going to sometimes take you down. Y'all remember that song? How'd that go? Was that Rocky? That wasn't Rocky. That's Eye of the Tiger. Best around. That was Action Jackson. Somebody like that. But some movie from the 80s. I'm trapped in the 80s, like I said. But you teach kids to compete and fight with each other. Rob each other. Why? Why not teach them to work together? What's so wrong with working together, trying to build utopia-ish situations for the people around you? I remember my bicycle and pretending a lot. Yeah, Kim on the bicycle. Oh my goodness. I remember the bicycle. I remember that slave technology. I do. But the bicycle wasn't just slave technology because but my parents didn't buy me the, was it BMX? I think I had a BMX, a mongoose. I don't remember. I had a BMX at first. But it was the kid down the road had the mongoose. I think I got a mongoose after the price dropped. My parents wouldn't buy it for me. Nope. But it was more my bike because I took it, crashed it, rebent the frame, painted it my own colors. I put my own motorcycle engine in it. It was y'all remember the motorcycle engine? You put the card. You go to your brother's card. He's got a card deck. You always got old brothers if they play cards. You steal one card from it. They don't count the deck, so they won't miss it anyway. You get tape, you wrap it around the spokes, and so when the spokes hit it, you put an engine in it. So it really wasn't slave technology. It was being creative, and who could make the best motor sound, which bike. My buddy Elijah, he did better. And I think my buddy Alan, I think maybe he did better. I don't know who did better. It was my buddy Chris. I don't remember which one. They put two cars together. They stole two cars because the two cars hit each other. And after a while, we had 8 cards, and your brother what the hell? Trying to play cards, man. Missing the ace and the jack and the queen. But I remember those things. But we remember the things where we're being creative. We need more creativity. Why are they taking arts out of school and music? Somebody said that to me the other day. They're taking a lot of the creative stuff out of schools. Why are they taking the things that matter most? The things that are most significant? Maybe because George Carlin was right. They don't want creative thinking people. They want slaves. They want people dumb enough to run machines, but not smart enough to question why. Why corporations are always robbing utopia for the next generation. Why nations are doing that. Why they're giving you nationalism, getting you allegiant to something other than yourself. You just should be allegiant to yourself. Why in the world would you be allegiant? Everybody should have their own anthem. That's what I think. When you're born, I think we should teach kids this way. You make up your own anthem. You need to draw your own flag, and that's what you need to be allegiant to. Now, you be allegiant to that. You find yourself, you be allegiant, and you become the greatest thing you can become and share with everybody else. What's so wrong with that? Why do we got to be allegiant to colonizers? Somebody tell me. Now, nostalgic AF. Yeah, you know what? Nostalgic is good, Brother Danny. But I think that even is a That might even be an indicator of our enslavement. That might be a glitch in the matrix. Why we get so happy about things in the past? Because things in the present kind of suck a little bit. Maybe. All the socializing that is happening on group projects, helping others make quilts and build barns, etc. But we used to do that, Brenda, right? We used to all work together as a community. Somebody had to build a house, you all get together. The house I grew up in, all my uncles built with my father. They all got together, they built this big old, massive, big house. I don't think they could afford to buy one. So they bought the land and built a big old house. And his twin brother did the same damn thing. You know, and they all had pride in that. And they all worked together. When they built their house, they all went to work together with them. You know, and people in the community, when you work together, you build relationships. You have more relationships and you do more socializing with your neighbors in your community than you do these people on television that you will never meet. Government. So I agree. I retired early because I hit the brick wall. I couldn't live like that anymore. Yes, Debbie, and that's what you got. Everybody, you got to find your way out. I love it. Absolutely. Find your way out. It's not going to be easy, but find your way. Find yourself. Somehow figure out how to make yourself stop being allegiant to corporations that are destroying the future and be allegiant to yourself. Find out who you are. Find your passion. If you'll do it for free, and go do it. Because you know what? The funny thing, Debbie, when I think about that, I can only envision serving millions of people growing their food because I started doing it. Not millions, not millions, but I started doing it. I could start to realize what it looked like outside of the box. That gets back to kind of yesterday's point. You know, can you be in the box and think outside of the box? It's hard for people to see utopia who are still believing in slavery. It's hard for people who can envision a life without money, who have a lot of money in the bank account. They've already built their whole foundation on that plantation model, that society, that plantation pretending to be a society. Not for cotton sales, but for GDP. And it's hard to envision it. So I think, Debbie, I don't know, I asked Debbie to ask you the question. I mean, when you got out, could you like taste it better? When you got out of the matrix, when you got out of that box, could you like you envision getting out because or you just envision like, I can't do this anymore. This box doesn't feel good. Sometimes that's all the out of the box thinking we need in the box, and I think it's probably all we're capable of, is this doesn't feel good. I don't know what comes next, but I'm gonna get the hell out of this box, right? Like, so we don't have to talk about what utopia even looks like. Everybody's got their different ideas and mindset, and everyone has a different type of utopia, which is fine. But we know today doesn't work. Sometimes that's all you need is that whip, and you know that living in a world where 60% of the women on antidepressants, where a large portion of the children go to prison, where most of the people end up in lifestyles and jobs and careers they don't like, so they got to take synthetic high. They got to get synthetic highs from drinking and legal drugs and doing things that destroy their marriage, doing things to find joy where they can in a life that they hate. All we need to know is that this box doesn't fit. This box isn't cool. And we don't need to know what the box looks like outside. We'll figure that out. We just know we need to get out of this matrix. Then we'll build a new world on the other side. That's all we need to know. All we need to know is bipartisanism doesn't work. The two-party system can't work. It creates polarization and hatred for other people you never met. It makes you stupid. Maybe we don't need to envision what a three-party system feels like or four. We just know what we have today doesn't work. We don't need to know what the world looks like without currency. We know the world with currency really sucks. You know, we got all types of sex trafficking and just war and dumb stuff happening. Maybe we just need to say that this doesn't work. Let's just go to something else and we'll figure that out on the other side. Could you please change your profile picture? I'm about to unfollow you. Who's that? Winjaku Mary. Why would you unfollow me? What's wrong with my profile? Yeah, I was waiting for that to come. Every time I try to have a fun pic, I get in trouble. People want me to look serious. Y'all see, if you're not on Facebook. I don't know. Sometimes I have fun. I'ma show it. I know. I'ma show you. Say, you show that picture, I ain't gonna look at it. Oh wow. Ooh, yes, it's kind of. It's kind of rough. I know, sis. It's kind of rough. I know. I like to have fun sometimes. Hang on. I show it to you. I was playing. I didn't read the comments because I know what the comments are gonna say. I love my pro. You don't like that? You don't think I look nice? I don't look sexy. I look a little sexy. I guess it's a little scary. I changed it today. My goodness, people, I was having fun. You wouldn't follow me for that? Come on, you wouldn't unfollow me for that. You know you love me. Stop it. I love you too. I don't know. You know what? Facebook, it's a toy to me. Half the time, people, y'all sometimes we take Facebook too serious. It's literally a game, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a game. I'm still winning. I got more points. I know I got more. I got, who was that yesterday? Grow Food Not Lawns gave me a top fan. I'm winning Facebook. I'm winning. I think we take stuff way too serious. I'm winning. I'm gonna beat y'all. I'm the best. I'm the best at Facebook. Now, Facebook for me is just it's a means to an end. You know, I think it's a temporary thing. Who was it? Somebody said the other, Megs or somebody said that they keep getting asked every few minutes or whatever, it's a couple times a day to report something. Like putting people in Facebook jail is a game, y'all. You can call it, Facebook wants you to report suspicious activity. Yeah, you need to report Facebook to the FBI. That's what you need to do. You need to report, hey, there's something on here called the Global Alliance stalking me. It's looking at the pictures of my kids and everything else, and it's trying to determine who I am, and it's keeping track of me. That's not allowed. Probably ain't allowed under the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Like, are you allowed to have a global alliance? That sounds like some treason to me. Watching your people and then living your nation, that kind of sounds like treasonous to me. Oh, let me ask y'all a question. I had another question. I was thinking through processing. Who is the number one, what organization are the number one pedophiles on the planet? A little Jeopardy thing. Who's the organization, bar none, got the most pictures of the most naked kids on the planet? I don't remember the rest of it. Come on, y'all don't know. Don't know I answered the question. Patricia got it. Is that a buzzer? What do they do when you win? Like, process this for a minute. Most kids have these slave toys. They got cell phones, right? We know that the camera's always on. We know that the mic is on, the video camera cuts on and off. We know that this is true, okay? We know big corporations actually use those pictures and they're parsing all of the sound. Wait, who do you think got pictures? Anybody got kids here? You got kids? You know they got naked pictures of your kids, right? You know kids, what do they do with their phone? They go in the bathroom, they go in the shower, they don't put the damn things down. Whatever they're doing, they got these damn phones with them. Even if your kid doesn't have one, if your kid goes in a public restroom at school, the other kids take their phones in there. Hundreds of gazillions of terabytes of data of naked kids in the U.S. government's NSA's database, FBI, CIA, all the rest of the secret acronym agencies. Yeah, I said acronym. I didn't say acronym. I said acronym. They got billions. All of your kids, they got naked. And you know what, people, they gonna vote for this. You thought you was fighting pedophiles with it. You thought you was fighting pedophilia with people taking pictures of your kids that take away your privacy and theirs. How old is your child? Anybody got any 5-year-old little girls, 7, 8, that they have cell phones and these little iPads? Not just the cell phones with accounts, it's the iPad, just the laptops, all of it. This is what happens when you have a police state. This is what happens when you have an oligarchy. Remember, with an oligarchy, if it makes profit, it's true. And watching everybody is what they do. Got pictures of everybody. You know how sick it is to live in a world where your government has billions and billions and billions of endless child porn on databases you pay for? Do you know how stupid this is? That's why I said. That's my thought. That's my thought. Because Kim, when I think about these things, I'm just like, man, do you know how weird this is? We're in bizarro world. That's why I asked that question the other day. I like to fantasize about the multiverse and string and living in dimensions where we don't have psychopaths that actually run everything and somehow package it and make it look like it's a good idea for everybody else. This is what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna protect you from terrorism. Vault 7 and WikiLeaks explain that to you and how it works. You know how crazy that is? I know. There they go, the angry faces. I knew they was coming. I was gonna lead a point till I got some angry faces. I need some angry faces. We need to be angry because we're not marching towards utopia. We're staying in, is it dystopian? We're staying in stupidtopia, ignotopia, and we're voting for ridiculopia. All the opias, all of them, just all. And it's not funny. I'm laughing because it is so sick. It is so sick, and everybody's excited about their prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein. Like, okay, how about the EpiPen, damn it? Think about that. Think about the oligarchy, all right? Think about who really is being oppressed. You. But they'll serve up these little golden nuggets here and there and make you think that they're fighting something or doing something. No. We need to march toward a utopia where children are free, and they don't have any pictures being taken of them by your government or big corporations or Google Mail and YouTube, Yahoo Mail. And just to get a mail program, they require access to your phone, microphone, and video camera. What do you think they're doing? All right, I know you think you got a private life. I know you do. The only people got private lives probably nobody. Maybe some Rothschilds and Rockefellers. I mean, even Mark Zuckerberg, he got that what he was doing an interview and they noticed he had tape over his camera. Y'all got tape on your camera? I do. They can hear me do everything, but I'm not really public. But you know what? I got a penny, and I took some of this slave money, and this penny is doing some good. And I wrapped duct tape around, not duct tape, electric tape, and I put it on the back of my laptop. So anytime I want the camera on, I flip it back the other way. And anytime I want the camera off, I flip like that. Look at that, I disappeared. Check it out, I'm gone. Look, it's a black man. We looking at blackness. All right, I was just playing. People just don't understand that their kids are literally worth thousands of dollars to the trafficking and CP markets. Yes, they are. If I had any, I never let them out of my sight. Yep, and Patricia, and I won't have any more. I'm done with after I studied what that Child Reform Welfare Act of 1994, what Clinton did. No. Kids are worth, what is it? $120,000 a year to be stolen from an adult and taken into foster care. It's like, yeah, we're helping kids. You're literally helping kids by making a legal human trafficking system. And people clap and they cheer for it. They'll call it they'll call it Welfare Reform Act, and they get all excited and they won't read it. I read it. It's sick. They allocated billions of dollars doing that, and they yelling and screaming about kids in cages. Not me. No. I read the laws. I know how your government works, and I know what you've been voting for. They take these horrible dark age concepts and they legalize. And that's what I say half the time, Patricia, when I say that to people. Everything from the dark ages, they legalize. And we got sick issues that we can't fix because people still believe in being led by psychopaths. I believe in walking toward utopia, a utopia where you don't have to steal kids from their parents. You say, well, we gotta go help abuse kids. I agree. Are we gonna spend any time preventing the conditions that bring about the abuse? Ever? Well, if the parent can't pay the water bill, you take the kids. Well, you think that maybe people shouldn't pay for water on a planet where it rains and water is literally free? There are people who love the idea of filtering water. Like there are people with that passion that would do it for free to figure out how to make water free. I can do it better than you. That whole better concept. I'm better than you. And that's a better driver than money. Letting people do what they have a passion for and try to become best at it. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, he abused this little girl. Okay, yeah, protect the little girl. I'm all for that. But if you don't spend a dime preventing the abuse situations that he came from, then how are you trying to fix anything? How are you trying to protect children? You're not. You literally are making an industry out of children being beat and abused. That's why I don't believe in the system, y'all. That's why I'm not voting. I read the laws. I think you can vote as long as you don't read the laws. If you read the laws, you will stop voting. You know, like Ty was saying the other day, it's why half of our constitutional studying friends who are studying the law, they're not even around anymore. They don't even join. They don't log on Facebook half the time anymore. Because when you really start reading, you understand how sick this is, you don't want any parts of anything. When you start looking at manufactured consent, come on. All right. Kids don't get to be kids anymore. No, they don't, Lori. Not in survival of the fittest country. No, not in cronyist nation where children are literally shown hate from day one if they're born in the wrong family, in the wrong community. No, they're shown exactly how much this world hates them. And they become hateful. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I'm telling you, Lori, I watch the news. I'm like, yep, that's supposed to happen. That's supposed to, just like crack crocodiles, meth gators. You're supposed to have crack kids, you're supposed to have meth kids. That's exactly what's supposed to happen when you aren't working towards a utopia. You don't have this belief in paying it forward, doing the right things for them instead of outsourcing, being a parent and outsourcing utopian to big government and big corporations, whose only interest is stealing from them, stealing from the next generation. That's their only interest. That's it. Drives me nuts when people put pics of their super cute, very marketable little kids on public. Ooh, here on Facebook, always put kids' pics to friends only. I hear you, Patricia, but you know, girl, you know, they got all the pictures. The real sick people, they got all the pictures anyway. The real sick people, they got a back door into all your devices. The minute you take a picture of your kids, they already got it. Now you got some baby sick people on the internet, yeah, who need some help. Real sick ones, the ones that are destroying entire nations of children, they got all the pictures. They got, whether you put them on Facebook or not. It's like somebody was talking about updates the other day. I like it. I'm coming with background in IT. I just like to look at stuff and see what people think. And they're like, yeah, well, I put updates on off unless I manually allow my software to update. I'm just like, yeah, you do. I was like, oh yeah, you really don't know what's true. We update when we want to update. You know, I think they give these buttons and I think these are like control. They're illusions of control. They like to, the only way I think you keep a slave colony going is you give people the illusion that they have some level of control. And they don't care. They will update your software whenever they choose to. That's exactly what we did. Yeah, we got the optional updates, but when it's time to make an update, we'll update. The real important updates, the ones that allow them to take all your pictures off your laptop and put them on the cloud that you said no to, those updates are going through. Now, the other little silly updates about protecting you from hackers, oh no, that's optional, because that scares you, right? Like, this is the weird thing about building a world where we don't have the control, outsourcing control to an elite few. All right, let's go back and see what y'all talking about. Government and pedalwood. I pick both. I think you can pick anything you want, Daniel. You are a sovereign creature. You can do anything that you like. That's why I say the world's perfect. The world is perfect exactly the way it is. The world is literally supposed to be this way. It's perfect. It's perfect based on where people are with sovereignty and freedom and consciousness. It's exactly how it should be. Now, we can try to do something about tomorrow, but today, things are exactly, you're supposed to have FBI, you're supposed to have an NSA, you're supposed to have a government, you're supposed to have oppression, you're supposed to have war, because this is where the mindset of people were yesterday. Right, it's where their mindset is today. All right, let me see. Probably going through the list: CIA, Department of Defense, FBI, CPS, government. Yeah, they all got them nasty. They got all the pictures of everybody. Because we consent to it, but we're like cattle, right? You know, the farmer's allowed to have naked pictures of the cattle. You never know when the farmer might need to take pictures of the cattle. We're being farmed. All right. Should I even look at the news today? But y'all see what I'm saying about utopia? It's okay if you disagree. I can get some angry faces. I just think utopianism is looking at what's wrong and saying, let's make it right. Let's look at the root cause and let's make it right. And that's it. And if everybody, not even everybody, a small percentage of the people are actually doing that, things generally will get better. We don't do that. We're the only species on the planet that we fight utopia because we say, oh, he's a utopian. Yeah, but it's not a destination. It's the current intellectual ability of a population to just constantly make things better. That's it. It's just solving problems. That's utopianism. It's a lifestyle. It's not a destination. Nothing will be perfect. You don't support something because you know it's going to be perfect. You don't support getting out of the box because you know what it looks like outside the box. And the Venus Project or Zeitgeist movement or someone told you precisely what your life is going to be like if you get out of slavery. Hell no. Get the hell out of slavery. You go. That's where my mind's at. I never accepted those updates and they just went away on my new iPhone. Yeah, you never accept it. I know they go away, Dan, don't they? Like, oh, I guess my phone didn't update. Like, no, your phone updated. Because when they roll these things out, yeah, if it's unimportant, they'll ask you about it. If it's important, nope, it's mandatory. It's just gonna happen. It may seem amazing to most, myself included, but having joined this group has greatly reduced my depression. It must be the love. It is the love. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. I'm trying to do my small part, but it's mostly these people. I think that when you really can take a step back, and look at the world from a 30,000 foot level with other people, and you can start to see where the real problems are, eventually you realize that the problem aren't the Republicans, and the problem aren't the black people, and the problems aren't the white people, and the problems aren't the nations, and the problems aren't the government, and the problems, we can talk about all this stuff all day, but the problems are systemic. The model, right? The problems are in our own mirrors. It's easy to solve problems in your own mirror. It's easy to look and say, you know what? I'm doing this wrong. I can do that better. It's easy to be the best of you. It's easy to get the best of you and move forward and try to beat who you are yesterday. There's something depressing about trying to fight the Republicans. Because you can't. You're not supposed to anyway. And fighting the Democrats, that's a whole bunch of them. They gaslit, they're brainwashed. It's a whole bunch of them. Fighting Russia and China. There's millions of Muslims fighting them. But when because it's something you can't even envision. And I think it brings about a feeling of helplessness. And that brings on depression. But I think when you start to look at the world from what the problems really are, from a sovereignty perspective and just loving everybody. And I'm not saying it's not the love, it's definitely love too. But when you love each other enough to let each other's experiences be valid and leave people alone, then it's easy. Then you know what you got to do. Every morning I wake up, I look in the mirror, and say, all right, what we gonna do today? But you suck at yesterday. All right, what we gotta do? Let's get to it. It's easy to change itself. And then you have goals you can actually accomplish and people around you who love you, who want you to accomplish those goals. Like Brother Anthony, we never met. There's nothing I want more for you to be the happiest person on this freaking planet. That's it. I want you to have, I need you literally to jump out of bed and be happy every damn day and things to go your way. Because we're all interconnected. I can't wish negative things on you. I can't wish to beat you out for the promotion. I can't wish that I got a faster car and a better car or a bigger house without self-destructing myself. Because we're all connected. We're all one energy. We're all a part of an ecosystem if you don't understand the atomic physics behind that. We're all one ecosystem. When the ecosystem is doing good, everybody in the ecosystem is doing good, everybody's happy things happen. You got depressed people, yeah, they're supposed to shoot up schools. Yeah, that's exactly what they're supposed to shoot up other people. They're supposed to stab and rob and do all those things. And I think it's the love, but it's also the community. It's because for the most part, nobody here is trying to get you to be like them. For the most part, you got a couple of y'all still. We gotta get some angry faces, y'all. I don't see no angry faces. A couple of y'all still holding on to that. You need to be like me because I know, you know. But even after a while, people start to change and they start to see that and realize when you wish better for other people, better happens for other people. And when other people start wishing better for you, better starts happening for you too. And I think there's something to that when prayer and all of that stuff. But you want to be around people who wish you well. At work, do people wish you well? You go to work, how many people at work? How many people at your slavery? 100, 200, 300,000? How many of them wish you well? Knowing that you're wave energy and their wave energy, and you're in close proximity to them, and you're quantumly entangled with them. They want to beat you out for the promotion. They smile in your face. I used to work in corporate America. I remember you just smile in your face. How you doing today? How the kids doing? Knowing that you hate everything I stand for. Knowing you want to beat me out and you're pissed off that I got the project and I'm this or I'm working on that, whatever you wanted to. When you're around people who wish you well, good things happen in your life. When you're around people who hate you, bad things happen. Anyway, I don't know, and I could be wrong, but I think it has a lot to do with that, Anthony. It has a lot to do with that. For me, like I used to pay attention to these things a long time ago. This is why I talk about everything. I talk about everything from aliens to UFOs to quantum physics to religion to whatever. I'm trying to move forward and involve everything, government to everything, you know, elections and politicians. I'm interested in all of it. Like all of it has to do with building a better world. It's all got to get better. It's all got to get fixed and go that direction. I used to have those thoughts just in my head, and, you know, certain friends I knew who were enlightened. That's why I love social media. People say, we gotta get off of Facebook. No, I ain't getting off of nowhere. They can kick me off here whenever they're ready. Google, all the rest of them. I'm gonna be here. Because it's the only way I can interface with people from all over the planet who understand. We aren't alone in the damn universe. You know, people who understand, yeah, utopianism is a thing and we can get there. People who understand that we've had the ability to grow food and build houses and take care of everybody for damn near almost 100 years now. People who understand Nikola Tesla and what he was trying to do. People who understand Christ was a real man and the beautiful things that he taught are powerful, powerful things. And when you can work with people like that, it gives you hope. It gives you hope because then you're not alone. But at work, I bet you're mostly alone. You might have one or two people who wish you well. You might have one or two people who have been exposed to those things, talk about central banking and the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Constitution and Bill of Rights and just loving people. You know, but that's the great thing about social media is you can find people. You don't always have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with them. But you have to agree that we need to make things better, move towards make things better, heading towards the future. I'm not, John. Sometimes John says, John, you know what you're talking about. I'm gonna try, John. I don't know what you're talking about. That penny is what we call Negro engineering. John, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I'm gonna try to see if I can process what you're saying. I mean, what is a Negro? Right? Negro doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. It's not even a thing. Killers, robbers, rapers, murderers, and slavers made the name up, right? If you can give a thing a name, you can group it, you can control it. And so, I'm gonna say, the idea of using a penny and making it into slavery, which, you know, that was just one of the latest ones. Slavery been on this planet since the very beginning, you know, from slavery, the Irish were slaves, the Arabs were slaves, everybody enslaved each other. But taking a name and labeling it and making it okay that that thing is enslaved. And so money definitely is a representation of human labor. And human labor is always a representation of slavery. You know, from an American perspective, with the whole idea of black and Negro and African, when they got tired of the Irish people running off the plantation, they want to get black people. Because the black people were easy to catch and the Irish just, they knew how to run and they looked like everybody else. They created the 13th Amendment and they just made everybody slaves. That was the whole purpose. That was my post from earlier about the difference between a plantation and a society. There's no difference. A plantation and a society have the same exact thing. I don't think you were here earlier. It was this right here. This is what when I talk about slavery, I'm not kidding. Like, I laugh, but I'm serious about it. Forced labor. If you force labor on a few unfortunates, a few pagans, a few aliens, a few people who don't believe the religion you believe, a few people don't look like you, a few people not from your nation. If you can do that to them, you can make people not like them or scared of them, then yeah, you can make slavery over a few. But then they always turn around and they flip it on the entire society, and they make everybody unfortunate. And they call it an economy. And they give you pride in it, I can't say the word. Everybody, because the thing that you deploy on other people will always turn around and be back deployed on you. I think that's what you're trying to say. Do the right thing. Everybody, problem solve. Truth is simple. That's right, Amy, and the truth allows people to problem solve. That's why what's true is so important. If we know what's true, then we can fix the problem. This is why you can't have a government with secrets. You literally cannot have a government with any secrets, because they keep everything from you. Is Susan here on time? Good, Susan's here on time. Is that Lauren? That's another one. If y'all don't follow Susan and Lauren, y'all should be following them, because they're the other ones who talk about like ancient archaeology and secret and energy work and all these things that government has always told you that it's crazy. Apparently it's not crazy. We've been doing these things since the beginning of time. You can't have a government that lies to you about those things, because if we don't know what's true, Amy, then we don't know how to fix anything. And that's how they break us. One of the great ways they break us is they have embargoes of what's true. And so people are literally walked around in life controlled. If they control what's true, they control you, and they control you from not being able to fix anything to create more utopian-ish conditions for the next generation. Over 13,000 of my personal pictures went to the cloud. Yep, they did. Daniel, you don't have to worry about that, brother. They were all there anyway. They don't care. They tell us stuff. I'm telling you, I was in IT. People, and there's nothing private. You think that you go to work and say, oh yeah, my email is private. The websites I go to are private. That is literally a corporate device. They don't delete none. If you work for a big corporation, it's all kept. They keep all of it. They are monitoring you as much as the government's monitoring them, as much as they're monitoring the government. Everybody's pitted against each other. All right, I'm trying to read a bunch of comments. Oh no, I shared and invited. Now, that's how it works, Ken. Ain't Kim? That's how it works. That's how it is. You're not allowed to talk about truthful things. You're allowed to be on your team, but they don't want the human race taking the world back from big corporations and government, the kings and lords and banks. That's the last thing that they want. Only naked pictures only naked pictures I had were of my goofy butt. Okay, well, Daniel, they got your butt, man. They got your butt. And it's like scanning. That's another form of pedophilia, pornography, child pornography. Is these scanners at the TSA, the airport. Think about that. Now, if anybody is a runner-up, but I guess the TSA is a part of the U.S. government, so I think it all fits in their pedophile market. So they're still winning. They're beating everybody at pedophilia. They got more child porn than everybody. Because when you're doing the new scanners, when you go through them, it's basically a naked picture. It peers through your clothing. They see everything on your kids, and that's just the sickest thing I ever heard of. How can there be a utopia when the animals in charge have no neuropsychological ability to feel the emotions, empathy, guilt, remorse? Thank you, Brother Wall. Right, exactly. And that's why I post a lot of stuff by the neuroscientists, Dr. James Fallon, and those who explain that these people need to have brain scans. You should not be voting for anybody until you see their brain scans, because you have no idea. Because the way they explain it, Brother Walt, is the people you think are the nicest, the people who are the sweetest, the people with the greenish, newish, dealish, the people with the best reparations, the people who just gonna save, bring back the jobs and build the wall. The people who are the most charismatic are the biggest psychopaths. They're the ones who literally have parts of their brain turned off so they can fool people better and better and better and not feel anything. Get a brain scan before you vote. I might have to make a new deal. I might make a new deal. If you can brain scan all the politicians, I might consider voting. Brain scan all of them. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Because it doesn't really matter. Even if you put decent people in government, it doesn't really matter. They don't make the say. They don't control things. The president doesn't run the United States. They're all told what to do. Like they're talking about Epstein, whether or not Epstein's going to be prosecuted. I'm sure they'll get him on something. They're not going to get his friends. They're not going to get his... Right? He's attached to everybody in government almost everywhere. He's attached to the biggest bankers, the biggest C. He's attached to everyone. You think they'll get all of them? No. They serve up these sacrificial lambs. They all stick together. They always all stick together. And if they actually get them on something, if the right person picks up the phone and says, hey, Trump, let him off. Okay, bye, click. That's it. They all stick together. They always have. Right? They all agree. And it's not that Trump is an elite. He's not. He's an employee. You know, having $1 billion doesn't put you in the club. You're only in the club if you're in that levels of world domination. The people who run this world, they're trillionaires. Think about petroleum. They literally pumping something out of the ground for free. They've been selling it to the world for 100, almost 150 years now. How much money do you think those people got? They're trillionaires. Of course. They don't pump it out for free because you've got ROI, you've got cost. They print the money. Everybody who works on an oil derrick anywhere is free labor. They print the money, then pay the people. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's free labor. They print the money. They print the money, and then you go to work for them. So you are literally pulling some resource out of the ground, refining it, doing whatever, driving the car to get there, driving the car to get back, going to Starbucks, and they're driving the boat to go get the coffee, to bring the coffee back, and everybody's getting paid, and they're printing the money. The elites, the people who control the resources. They control the resources. And this is why I don't focus on Trump. I don't focus on Obama. I don't focus on any of the fake news or the side effects of employees who work for the system. And I try to be honest about it. If I were Trump, I'd be doing the same thing he's doing right now. Because you have no idea the people who have the power, and if they can kill a president, they killed JFK, and your government won't even tell you the truth about that. There's no president on this planet nobody on this planet should be stupid enough like JFK to take on the billionaires or trillionaires that run this world alone. But that's how they keep it. Like Brother Walt just said, Trump is just an employee. But that's how they keep people from utopia, and they keep making sure the next generation will be enslaved to them, is they get you to focus on the low man on a totem pole. They get you to look at the Trumps, they get you to fight with the police, they get you to fight with the other poor people down the street, get you to fight with the racists, they get you to fight with all the people who have no say in the actual root causes of what drives all this. Yeah. And that's why I want to go to another planet. That's why I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. That's why I wake up every night. I go to sleep like, oh, please, I don't want to wake up in that universe again. This is not the universe I'm supposed to be in. I'm in the wrong universe. I'm supposed to be in a universe where people are born, we give kids the best, and we send them out to be a part of our ecosystem. I'm not in the right world. I know I am. The stork screwed up. I want my money back. The stork done brought me to the right. Where my angry faces at? I don't see no angry faces. Well, most of y'all agree with me anyway. I love it. I love it when it says, thanks for updating. And you're like, I didn't accept a mother effing update. Yeah, and that's true. I ended up with Windows 10 because I fell asleep once. Like, y'all remember when Windows 10 was coming out? I was trying to hold on to the last version. I forgot what Windows 7 or something. Because then they kept having the Windows 10 upgrade is free. Windows 10 upgrade is free. Windows 10. I just like, no, cancel, no, X, no. And one day I didn't hit the button fast enough. I fell asleep, and sure enough, woke up the next morning. I had Windows 10. It was something they need to get on my PC. They update when they need to update. And that's just real. Facebook, yeah, you talking about Facebook updates? Same thing, Brother Daniel. When they need to update, there's something they need some new plantation software to control people or make money with advertising, whatever, they just update it. When money makes the world go round, we can expect that activity out of those people who control the money. The psychopaths will lead us to utopia. That's like saying the lions will lead us to a steak dinner. Exactly, Walt. Thank you. This is why I'm not a voter. This is why I don't believe in the system. They're not leading us to utopia. They're literally leading us to our doom. They've made us self-destructive little creatures. Everyone can make ethical choices daily and impact humanity, and Earth is where we start. Absolutely. Absolutely, Victoria. You start in the mirror. If people will start in the mirror, we'll get somewhere. We've been trained to be violent and struggle. Figure if we keep showing kids love in another way, the world will only take 2 generations or so to change. 2 or less, Susan. 2 or less. 2 or less. I think it might be 1. I mean, you know what? It might be less than that. I mean, kids are very resilient things. You show them love and they flip. You know how many people? I know so many people who got locked up in the prison system. You know, the world showed them hate. They went the hate direction and we blamed them for it. We put them in prison. And just they met the right person in prison, or they got out, they met the right person. And they totally flipped the script. They totally beat the system at making them mentally ill and screwed up. I think kids are very resilient. They can flip on a dime. All we got to do is show them love. They've been shown hate their whole life. That's the good thing about a human being. The default condition is love and working together. They're broken. They're broken. So I don't think it's 2 generations. I think it's less. I think when we start looking out for people, they'll melt and they'll turn around the next day. What we've shown people is that aggression and fighting each other is how you get anywhere. When you just start showing them love, I mean, you can break some of the strongest people, some of the roughest people down by just caring for them. I was excited this morning to interact with you all. Really, I was. I get up early for this. All right, Trisha, thank you for that. And that's good. We like interacting with you. Y'all need to make friends. Y'all should be making friends of friends of friends of friends. You know, it's not about listening to me. Don't listen to me. I'm just trying to facilitate a discussion. You know, you should be talking with other people who are like-minded, who also want to build something positive in the future. You know. Good morning, Kevin. Let me see. So how are we making the world a better place today? Upgrade yourself. Absolutely. I love how you ask that every morning. Every morning. That's what we all should be doing. Exactly what Kevin's saying. You wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, okay, how do I do better today? There's some things I didn't do so hot at yesterday. You know, what's wrong with the world and how do I fix it in my own mirror? How do I fix that thing in my life? And just keep moving forward. And that's it. And don't judge other people. Don't, you know, put the levels and I'm better than you at fixing the world in my own mirror. Brother Ron, we're talking about people, they want to be best. They want to be God. You beat you from yesterday. There's no such thing as competition. You beat you from yesterday and keep moving forward. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Share what you're doing and hopefully they come along. You know, but that's how you break things. You need, I'm better than you. My tricycle's faster than yours. My big wheel, I can. We used to have competition for big wheel skids, Brother Ron. We used to be riding the big wheel and he could skid the furthest and like destroy the plastic tires for the Rockefellers and Rothschilds who pumped and create the plastic tire on the big wheel, make more money. And some people are just still locked in that childish behavior of competing with other people. It really is. I'm better than you. I can build pixie sticks and build up blocks and Lincoln logs. I can make a bigger one than you can. I can run faster than you. And that's just like, man, come on. How are you? And then they take that and they roll it out as an economic system and people continue to compete against each other. My goal in life is to make as little money as possible and help as many people as possible. Also make sure my bills are paid. Now that I understand what money is, I think slavery's a bad idea. Now I understand it's all cotton, it's all rubber, it's all oppression. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know, you can, but I'm not saying anything about you. This is me. You people, you know, I came from a privileged background. Not super privileged, but privileged enough that I know that I don't get to judge nobody. You know, we didn't have gold hanging from our neck, you know, once we were born. We didn't have silver spoons, but we had what we needed. And to me, that's more privileged than many people I know. And so it's my goal in life to somebody else have that. You can have the excess. I don't need the excess. I find love in just growing food. I find love in the garden. I find love just working with you people. You people helping me to help me. My upgrade starts with self-love. How do I feel? What part of me needs love now? What do I eat, drink, listen to, exercise, find myself? Absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely. It has to. Too many people were born with less love than were rocks should give. Some people were born in the wrong families. And it's not that their parents were foul, but their parents live in a foul system. They weren't shown what they need to be shown. If you don't love yourself, damn sure ain't gonna love nobody in China. You don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody in Iran. You don't love yourself, you could give two damns about 100,000 children being starved in Yemen. You don't love yourself. If you don't love yourself, then why do you care what your leaders, the system that they work in, are doing to other people? You don't. You care less. You gotta love yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody else. You can't take care of yourself, you ain't gonna take care of nobody else neither. Inappropriate, offensive. Yeah, people shouldn't be offensive. I mean, offense, what is offense anyway? Or when you're trying to deploy it. Receiving is one thing. Trying to deploy it, Lori, that's a whole nother thing. Trying to offend people is trying to take us back in time. That's more that caveman activity, beating people over the head. But I'm okay with people try to get me, try to offend me. I'm fine with that. To me, it just shows me who they are. For me, everything is information, Lori. I just want to know who you are and what activity you feel is normal. What activity, and then I can decide if that is compatible with my existence. And if it's not, then I love you to death. I won't love you one bit less. But when people start personal attack, stuff like that, there are certain things I let in my space and certain things I don't. Like the brother was talking about earlier, Anthony. When you're surrounded by love, you feel love and you want to give love. When you're surrounded by hate and aggression, then you're that too. You're surrounded by competition and crony capitalism, crony socialism, when you live in work environments that are based in conflict, and you become a very conflicting person. Like even music, or all I listen to is happy music. I'm a happy cat. That's all I do. I listen to happy music. And the funny thing is, if you're in that space, in that zone most of your day, it's hard for things to get to. I mean, I lose my cool. Everybody loses it every now and then. But it's not normal. It's not normalized for me. And an example was I was listening to I like these tiny desk concerts. I don't know if you even listen to them. If you look on YouTube, this thing called a tiny desk concert where people just get together, musicians, and play acoustic music around a desk. I think it might be NPR or PBS, whatever it is. There's one lady, she sang beautiful. She sounded like Adele. She just sings, I forgot her name. Weird name. But she was talking about relationships, kind of joking. She said, what is it with relationships that don't fight? What is that? That's just weird. No, that actually is the relationship you should have. That's that utopianish model, in relationships and marriage. People, they try to normalize aggression, violence, and inappropriate words and personal attacks. They say, this is normal. This is what marriage is supposed to be. Half the reason I don't know myself. That's one. You shouldn't be with somebody else if you don't know who you are. I'm not saying get a divorce and break up and nothing like that. I'm telling you about me. I don't think fighting is normal. I don't think arguing is normal. I think having disagreements are. I think not liking what somebody else did is normal. That's normal. But having arguments in a relationship or marriage, what is that? What is that? Is that more of that narcissistic, sociopathic stuff where your husband didn't do what you felt he was supposed to do? It didn't make you feel good. So now you're gonna launch a personal attack on your wife. Control. I think when you live in a society that's based in control and you're always being controlled, it normalizes that. It makes you want to control somebody else. Now, I don't think fighting and aggression in relationships and marriage is normal. I don't think it might be normal for you. don't we want to like make that better? Like, isn't that a root problem we want to fix too? I think everybody should be in counseling. It's one thing I said the other day. I think everybody, to me, counseling is like an oil change. If you're in a relationship, even with your friends, not just others or whatever, you should get regular counseling. You should get regular counseling. It's like an oil change. Sometimes that oil get dirty. You know, sometimes people hold on to stuff. That's what oil is. You know, oil goes in clean for the most part. Not really, because it's petroleum, Rockefeller stuff, but cleanish. And after a while, starts holding on to char. It starts holding on to chips of metal from within your engine, and your oil becomes dirty. The oil in every relationship becomes dirty. The time he came home late, the time she said this to you, the time that you said that and that. And eventually your oil gets dirty and you need to clean it. You got to change it. And that's what I think counseling is, getting an outside perspective, is cleaning that oil. I found a really old dictionary that has pages and pages and pages definitions of love. Wow, well, there's so many different types of love, Brenda. Like, y'all, one of y'all smart people, there's a whole bunch of different types of love. Human language actually sucks at describing these things. I think that's why they said they created it. That's the system. I'm a virus now. Yeah, Daniel, we should all be viruses to the system. That's a good analogy. We all should be hackers of psychopathic, violent systems that aren't based in love. We should literally be hacking the system. I'm not a voter. I know I've said it 8 times already. That'd probably be number 9. You know, I'm a hacker. I think that I should hack things that aren't utopian. Things that take us in the wrong direction. Let me see. Comments are behind here, but video is behind on mobile. Oh, okay. Then I'm behind in comments too, Kim. It might be me. But also they do edit the comments, by the way, and they edit the view counts. I caught them doing it. Now it would make sense they did that with comments too. You know, they definitely. I mean, like it's for the same reason robots and automation can grow better with permaculture, because they don't have to grow a row of corn. They can grow corn, basil, tomato all together next to a berry bush and whatever, maintain different soil levels and test the microbiome. The same way a robot can grow better than any human on this planet. They're programmed to grow in a permaculture way, not in a mass farming way. They can farm us better through automation and software. That's why I said learning software was the day, Kim, that everything should have stopped. The whole human race should say, whoa, it's too much power for y'all to have. Because they can filter the comments to you based on what they want for you, right? If keeping everybody farmed and in their little areas, their races, religions, and groups, and tribalism, keeping them angry with each other and fighting each other, then changing the system and building a utopia. If that's what the kings and lords and governments have always done for power and control, not because they're evil, just because we let them, and people want more power, they don't want less, people want more money, they don't want less, and kings want it. And with learning software, you can do it better. So if they can look at Kim's profile, Kim probably has a profile that Facebook's never even seen. Probably a whole database of Kim Jackson information. Kim is this and this race and fits in here and that, and leaves this and votes this way and this has a whole profile on you. And we need to keep conflict on the platform. And how do you do that? Well, you show Kim the comments that either piss her off or make her happy, depending on her mood of the day and what you want to control her. It's election time. You show her this, you show her that. The same way they control the timeline. That's why I barely look at my timeline. I look at my timeline every now and then, but I know that it shows me how it wants me to feel. And I have no interest in what software wants me to feel. Usually I go to my friends' pages. I don't look at timelines. Like when you're commenting and somebody says something that's just phenomenal, I got a quote or whatever, I go spend time on their page and I'll go jump over and, because and they can control that eventually too. But it's just too much power for any one person to have. It's too much power for software to have. It's too much power for corporations to have. It's too much power for a government. Nothing should have that amount of power to control who you are. Because at the end of the day, it's the same thing that we talk about all the time. It's denying self. You're trying to find yourself, and they're trying to break you from finding yourself. I love the analogy, Dan. We need to be hackers. We need to be hacking the system. I won't go to the airport, screw that place. If I need to use publicly available transportation, I'll take the train. Yeah, Deborah, after yesterday, I'm not a flyer. I really don't want to fly anywhere. I think we need to fix the oligarchy before I go to 30,000 feet again. I think we actually need to have what's true be what's engineered true, not what's corporation profit true. The mind evolves, Brother G. Yes, it does, and we got to keep moving the mind forward. So I love cannabis. I was talking to somebody about cannabis, Daniel. I know you love it this morning, which is, it's a prolific crop. We ate it since the beginning of time. Cannabis never was illegal. Only a fool would ban something we ate since the beginning of time, something we evolved an endocannabinoid system for. We have such a symbiotic relationship with that plant, it makes no damn sense. And our brain, our liver, our lungs, our immune system, now we're studying how the cannabinoids interface. It is criminal to keep that plant from human beings. That's why I said, well, we're moving forward in Colorado, it's legal. No, it's not. First of all, it was never illegal. Okay? The government that's in place, they never had the right to suspend your access to grow a plant, ever. They had no right to do that. And so because they write a law that says, oh, yeah, it's okay, you can grow it now if you have a license, that's not called being legal. Okay? That's called fooling people into thinking that they had the right to take it to begin with, right? That's what I mean we're enslaved. That's another way I mean we're enslaved, is the manufacturer consent. And if we now give them consent to give us a plant back, they had no right to take away from us in the beginning. Jesus smoked that plant, okay? If that's what you go with that, all right? When he went to the upper room to heat up the herbs, okay? A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Susan, don't you mean she? Don't you mean she? Susan talking about herself. Yeah, you was on time today, huh? You got in trouble the other day, now you're on time. Don't let me control you, Susan. I'm just playing with you. You show up when you want to show up. I'm just joking. Yeah, the public version of the world's richest man is always something. Dang it, it just went up. I missed it. Patricia. All right, I gotta go down because it's getting late and I'll read a couple of comments. Utopia is our birthright. It is a chem at birth. It is our birthright. Everybody has a right to the utopia that the billions of ancestors that died before them tried to or died to create for every species, right? Like that one person didn't die for you. But as a species, every species tries to create environments to cultivate the next generation better. So the billions of people who died for you, you have a right to that at birth. Circuit boards, software, control systems, the wheel, the airplane, electromagnetic flotation devices, whatever it may be, you have rights to all of them. And we need to make sure the kids get that back. There shouldn't be any patents or anything. We need to open source the world. We were brought here to make it better. That's the only reason I think we're brought here, Christine. I agree with you. I think everybody's given something, and we're here to just make the world a better place before we go. That's the only thing that makes any sense, because you can't take anything with you. We're put in these biological creatures, and we're supposed to bring something here. And that scripture even says that. You're given a spiritual gift. You're given some sort of a gift to make things better. If you can convince people just to be better than somebody else, then you can break everything. The big three, John, Martin, Bobby, and examples of what not to do. John, Martin, and Bobby. Oh, the big three. You're talking about the Kennedys? Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, and Martin. I don't know anything about Marty. Shelley. But he definitely went about it the wrong way. I mean, as I hear the story told, the Kennedys were a very powerful family, and they were up to no good. And for whatever reason, once he got in office, they were kind of thrown out of the in crowd or the club, and they decided to fight the system, and he went after central banking alone, and they killed him. Same thing they did to Jackson and Lincoln. And I think that's when presidents die and the modern government still covers it up, then that's how you know who runs your government. It's not the president. Presidents don't have access to the levels of secrecy that they would need to run the country. So no one can convince me presidents run this country. Like, can Trump go to Area 51? Somebody asked that question. Can Trump go to Area 51? No, he doesn't have access. That should answer everything that you need to know. Can Obama go to Area 51? No. And if he does, can he go in every room? No. So of course he doesn't run the country. Of course he doesn't. That's why half the people on that damn list want to run to Area 51. Because they know, I don't think there's anything there. Not much. And if it is there, by the time you get to the front door, they've already put it in that train for the tunnels and the cities they've made all under this country. And they just move it. You know, so but if you really think about it, if the president doesn't have right to know what's true, then explain to me how presidents run the United States. Like, you have people in the government who actually give you indicators that the president actually isn't running things, like John Bolton, Lindsey Graham, the fact that Obama didn't pick his whole cabinet. We have examples everywhere that presidents don't run anything, so you can be less worried about who president is or who you need to get out or put in. Because they're told what to do. John Bolton doesn't listen to Trump ever. That man is out there drumming up a war every chance he gets. He's gonna give two damns, and he knows I don't have to listen to Trump. Why? Because when the order comes down, Trump's gonna jump right in. He's gonna do what I work for who he works for. You know, Bolton just gets the email ahead of time, like Clinton did. You know, so we can worry about these silly things less and like focus on things that really matter. 7+ years, Brother G, and I have definitely flipped the script. All right, Daniel. Love works faster than hate because love is our true nature. Hate goes against what we truly are. It does, Susan. Hate profits nothing. Hate begets hate. It profits nothing. It never does. Violence profits only violence. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, if you beat somebody with hate, then hate won. So you might as well not have fought them to begin with. It's a useless thing. The basis of who we are is love. And that's the only thing thing I like to say, Susan, is the question doesn't matter. The answer is always love. That's it. If somebody's not answering the question with love, then no, they shouldn't be, damn sure shouldn't be in a government. They damn sure shouldn't be orchestrating or designing anything that we do. Because with people with love, they don't like central banking. They understand? Once they understand what it is, oh no, they throw that mess out. And they're willing to die for it. You know, Jacque was willing to die for it. He probably knew they were going to kill him, and he did it anyway. I think in the end he had love. He might have come from a family that was in a circle. And once you discover love is the most dangerous thing on this planet to every form of control, every system, every government, every big corporation. Because love is where all the whistleblowers are coming from. Almost every big corporation has whistleblowers. Every branch of the U.S. government has whistleblowers. Shouldn't that tell you something? If people are jumping out the cracks to tell you that these people are lying about everything, shouldn't that be like at that point in time in history, shouldn't we say, okay, this is enough? I agree with you. Human nature would take control very fast, but only if we stop the powers that run today, and that can only be done with a revolution. Otherwise, just put your head between your legs and start kissing your butt. I hear you, John, but you know I don't agree with you. You know that. I lay you death down because to me it's useless. Violence still wins. It's just a different violent person, different violent group, but still violence. Anything based in violence just begets more violence, and we need violence to go away. We don't need to shoot one shot. So all we need to do is be hackers of the system and walk away. Like if you stage a revolution and John wins, as an example, you stage a revolution, John wins, John's the general. It's no different. I mean, it'll be different from the American government, but it's still a control system. Somebody's being controlled. Somebody who disagrees with you and disagrees what you do is still being forced into something. Right? You know you got the right solution when you don't have to force anybody. When you got the right solution universally and it works for everybody, when nobody opposes you, and then you win. It's that easy. We need to make a system that works for every human being on this planet. It's not psychopathic. Because the psychopathic thing is a survival skill that we shouldn't be tapping into anymore. Once you got that, you know you got it. That's why we keep going back to the drawing board. Make a system, take it back to the drawing board. Make a system, take it back to the drawing board. Make a system, take it back. Find out who it doesn't work for, take it back. Make a law, doesn't work for people, take it back. Make a law, doesn't work for you, take it back. Keep taking it back, and that's that problem solving we talked about at the root level that walks us towards that utopia, that constant lifestyle of creating more and more of a utopian system. Keep walking in that direction. But it means that you can't force it. You don't have to pay for a good idea to go viral. Good ideas go viral. It's like this video. I know when people like a video and when they don't. It's when they share it. I know it's resounding with them is when they share it. And that's why I go back and I always look. How many likes and shares did I get? Okay, that's a great topic. We need to spend more time on that. It's resounding with people. You know, but if it's of me and it's just me and it's not resounding, then it doesn't get shared much. You know, and that's how we move forward, is we stop forcing people and we listen to people and we update things to work for people. That's not what government does. Government forces people. It gets more on this side than that side to force this down somebody else's throat. That's not a democracy. That's called mob violence with voting levers. It's just like pulling a trigger is the same thing as pulling a lever. If you pull the lever and then it requires triggers get pulled. It's not more violent on this planet than voting right now. All right, I can go. I can make a big building and crash a paper plane into it and tell you it was Muslims. Go on, Walt. Start telling the truth. Who was the first one? Was it Mahmoud Ahmadinejad? I know I'm saying it wrong. You said 9/11 was an inside job. It totally was an inside job. And if it wasn't totally done on the inside, they knew all about it on the inside. Why would you vote for people like that? Deborah says, I got you beat. I make as little money as possible my entire adult life. I know you got me beat, Deborah. I'm trying to catch up to you, girl. I'm doing the best I can. I'm getting there. I'm growing my own coffee beans, so eventually I'll have to grow this. I didn't get my Kentucky coffee trees planted yesterday. I'm gonna get them planted today. I had to do some stratification, and I got them stratified, and I dug up the ones I planted because they just sit in the earth and just look at me because they needed that cold cycle. So I stratified them. They popped up, swelled up, and popped this morning. Deborah, I'm gonna have coffee, Kentucky coffee trees growing in just a minute. All right, down. These live streams are my absolute favorite. I love interacting with people about things that matter and what we can do to build a better future. Well, Kim, thank these people. I appreciate them too. It's just somehow we end up with a collection of adults here. People who are allowed to be on the left and right and have discussions. People who, I'm not, but if it makes sense to them, it makes sense to them. You still got to respect people for who they are. I still respect every single Trump voter on the planet. I still respect every single Clinton voter on the planet, and I still love all of them. And I think, when you open up and you try to cultivate conversation on universal decisions that work for everybody, not judge people for old stuff in the past trying to do the right thing, then we can talk. And every voter is literally trying to do the right thing. Most of them, vast majority, I think. I disagree the core concept of the system they're voting for ever doing right. But we have to keep moving on. We have to let yesterday be yesterday and try to be better in the future. If you don't get better, it's always focusing on the past. I think everybody should have an opportunity to live free. Yeah, John, everybody should. Everybody's born free until they're enslaved. You're a hacker, Brother G. I try to be Daniel. I think I read that laughing stimulates your brain in more areas than anything. Yeah, it does, Brenda. It does. Laughing stimulates your brain. There's something about laughing we're supposed to do. It helps your immune system. I read something similar. I often introduce radical ideas to the masses too. That's all you can do, Kim. Throw the idea. If it's a good idea to stick, if it's not, it won't. But we need more ideas. We don't need less. We need more grassroots ideas. We need more ideas from you, not from corporations and government, because they have the voice and we think that, this is everybody's idea. No, it's usually the people who are employees for a system that half of them probably doesn't even know controls them. Singing positive things away. It's important to do. Kim said the only thing she got arrested for, you shouldn't be arrested for anything if you're talking about cannabis. There's no reason to take a human being that hasn't hurt another human being and arrest them. That makes no sense. That's violence. It's a violation. There's no reason to arrest someone. There's no reason to put your hands on any other human being that hasn't done anything violent or hurt another human being. That's called war. This is why I don't blame the police, because the police aren't the authors of war. It's the politicians. They're literally making war on their citizens for not doing anything. but adhering to their own rights. So no one should be in prison for growing a green plant. That's war. That's violence. You're using force and aggression against people who did not use force and aggression on you. Once again, why I'm not voting? Cannabis cured my cancer. The government is terrified that a plant we grow in our backyard can do this. Right, church, because of the GDP. Cancer is a big part of the GDP. All these diseases are making big money. That money ends up with politicians. It's not a conspiracy. It's just economics and money. The sicker people are, the more money they make, the more contributions they get, the better retirement they have. That's something. Nothing else. That's why Cory Booker will get in front of you and tell you all about universal health care and helping everybody. He takes all that big money from the big pharmaceutical industry and makes sure that all them little brown kids that look like him stay locked up in prison. It's just money. Just money. And we allow it. And we allow it. So it's not an anti-booger thing. I'm not anti-booger. He does well. People are still cheering him. So yeah, it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to put brown kids in prison, white kids in prison, poor kids in prison, because people want booger in control. People want Trump in control. They want control, period. So people are going to be controlled. So whatever coffer has the most money will determine how they're going to be controlled. Martin Luther King, yes, Mary. He's always he's a great example. I love the example he set. A 6-month-old loves you, Drew. I love your 6-month-old too, Kim. Very cute kid. I see him on Instagram. The president is a visual. They are a target for criticism and a hope for others. They are, aren't they, Walt? There's we see it. We see every president go in. They look young, running on the beach, got the shirt off, whatever. After dealing with the Americans for 4 years or 8 years, they look like death, every one of them, because people beat the hell out of them, because people still think presidents are making decisions, and that's just stupid. That's just childish, and it's like someone who obviously isn't paying attention to the world, and so the presidents become it's not a pincushion, what's a buffer? They become a buffer for people's aggression. They focus the public at the presidents, so the actual problems never get addressed. And that's why I watch it. That's why impeachment is out there. Every president, they play the impeachment game. Every single president, don't they, brother? Well, every president, impeach. The world's gonna get better when we get rid of Trump. They're like, no, that's not gonna end slavery. Nope, it's not gonna end oppression, and nope, it's not gonna end war. It actually is gonna help those things dig in deeper. President's power is uniting the population and mobilization. MSN is obviously terrified. It is, Brenda, but if anybody, let me ask you this. Anyone, so you can be anti-system all you want, you just can't be good at it. So, and it's not a thing of whether Trump is this, that, and the other. If Obama ever got good at uniting people against the Federal Reserve or the actual system, the actual deep state that he's surrounded by, they'd have murdered him. If Trump ever gets good at uniting people and mobilizing them against the people, the trillionaires who actually run this world and bought America, they kill him. So I don't know what's going on. I do know that it's interesting, the fighting that seems to be happening at those levels. But part of me says it's staged, and the other part, I don't know. And so because I don't know, I just focus on the system. I just focus on the system. Because I don't need a hero. And then, that'll be my fallback. I don't need an Obama, and I don't need a Trump, and I can speak for myself. I don't need a leader, and I don't want one. I know what I want to do for the next generation, and that is walk us towards a utopia. You know what I mean? And so I don't need any of them, so I really don't focus on them. I laugh at them all. I laugh at them a lot. And I try to get people to not outsource utopianism and to do their own. Yes, decentralize, decolonize. That's it, Jane. Decentralize, decolonize. Those two words could fix everything. Decentralize and decolonize. You decentralize everything, it means nobody has any power over anybody else. So people can be free. They find their joy and happiness. It means everything gets decolonized, and now you can't get a group of people to join up against another group of people because everybody's happy in their own freedom. And everybody agrees on that. They want to be left alone. And if we just stop trying to colonize each other, everything goes away. Stop trying to colonizing your neighbor's yard because they cut their grass. They don't cut their grass because they like ecosystems that are like the bees and the bugs to pollinate, like monarch butterflies, so they don't cut their grass. when it gets over 7 inches, stop trying to colonize them. Stop trying to colonize the Republicans. The Republicans trying to colonize the Democrats, and they all just mad and fighting colonization. The Democrats don't like colonization. They just pretend they don't like slavery. And the Republicans, they like the Republic, and they don't like globalism, but it happens all the time. Colonization, Jane, down to the core levels of it. Right? Don't be for central power anywhere or colonization anywhere, and we got something. All right, I really gotta get down. Anybody who wants to govern is lacking love, because love is the opposite of control. Absolutely, love is the opposite of control, and legislation is the opposite of freedom. Law is the opposite of freedom. A free society doesn't need police, let alone a police state. I totally agree with you. That's why I'm not interested in government, governing, or any of that nonsense. Anybody who wants to lead you doesn't think you can lead yourself. That's the problem for me. True unconditional love, true unconditional love destroys ego. Always does that. Always does. Oh, look, Miss T is in the house. Look who's showing up late. Oh, late and wrong. Nah, Miss T's usually right. Oh, late and right. Everyone must watch what Whitney Webb reveals in her interview with Steve on the Slow News Day channel. Stay informed. All right, if you give us a link, Miss T, that would be fantastic. Let me see. Connect the dots with the help others offer. Absolutely. It was released yesterday. Truth does in fact set us free if we realize that even it is subject to change. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, truth is subject to change. And I like how you said that, because it's a scientific approach, right? Everything is dynamic. Everything's always changed. You've got to keep updating and keep moving forward. New hypothesis. This solution is wrong. Go at it again. Absolutely. Collect new data. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Absolutely. Save the Whitney Webb interview, and we'll listen to it after the podcast. All right, awesome. I finally slept semi-decently. Good to hear, Miss T. What did you do? How did you sleep semi-decently? Calling on my old Army Rangers and biker pals for advice. It's always good to do that, Brenda. Always good to reach out to people for advice if you ever got questions. Always a good thing to be a community. Ask people. We don't know everything. And before every battle, the soldiers in the armies had to sit down with each other and talk for 24 hours before fighting that begins. A fighting would never begin. That's right. That's right. That's not an exact quote, Susan, but I already saw where you're going with that. And these kids knew that the kids that they were going to fight, they wouldn't fight. You can only fight people you don't know. You can only fight people you fear. You can only fight people you hate. That's why the government drums up hate before they start the war. That's why these Republicans and Democrats are trying to get us to hate Iran, trying to get us to hate China and Russia and everybody, because of all these new wars they need to go fight. They need to blind a bunch of kids to other kids if they were born next to, they'd be playing with. And that's the only way you can get them in tanks, and you can get them flying drones to go murder people they don't know. It's time for violence to go away, but you got to stop sharing a violent system where it never will go away. Swinging a golf club. And Brother Walton, if you like doing that, you should be doing that for a living. You should be doing that for a living. You have billions of people died so you could do the thing that you love and enjoy. They wanted to impeach me, and I never even ran. What? Brother Walton, you somebody famous? What's going on? Let me see. There are more of us, and we aren't scared. We have the power of love. And even if there was only one of us, Brenda, with the power of love, shouldn't be any fear. That's why we lost a lot of our greats. A lot of our greats die early. They fall out of airplanes and get lead diets early because they have love. When you have love, unconditional love, you don't have the fear. You understand that you're here just to do a thing. You're here to pay it forward. You're here just to push us a little forward towards that utopia. And that's why they take people out. They take people out that does that. Why don't you see people coming back in? I'm about to end it up. I see people coming in. Was that because y'all are getting kicked out? Is that reboot thing? Just trying to see what's happening. When I don't sleep, I gain knowledge. Meditate. Oh, hey, Dan. you got to do what you got to do. You just made me think of something. If one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life is that damn monkey. When the monkey's just taking care of business. Taking care of business. That's a funny thing. And that's what people would do. You know, hey, that's bringing joy, and people should do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's natural. You know, it's safe too. We're not going to have a discussion on that. Let me see if I'm missing anything. We can only give what we have. This is true, Kevin. We can only give what we have. That's it. Brother Gerard, do you meditate? What are your thoughts on meditation? For me, meditation allows me to center my perspective and restore my physical emotion and spiritual alignment. Brother Kevin, I do things and I don't even know what they're called, to be honest with you. I live a weird life. Like, I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, I got my crystals. I kind of process what I dreamed about, if I dreamt about anything. Oh, look, Clemency is showing up all late. That's that dream person. She's kind of one of my dream gurus. And that takes me different places. Like, I'm not truly emptying my mind, but I'm just thinking and I'm processing. There are other times I try to empty my mind. There are other times where I'm just sitting in the garden and I end up focusing in on something. Like, I'm a weird dude, Kevin. Like, I can sit in the garden and just watch a praying mantis for hours. I could sit there, I could watch I like to look at different types of bugs. Bugs, aliens, brother. They're all kind of crazy stuff. Then there are times that I do need to meditate in gaining strength. You know, if it's something that I need to do. I guess some people would call it prayer, meditation, merger, all of that. So I do a lot of those things, but I kind of am driven by what I feel I need to. If I have something that I have to do and I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it, then I kind of sit in silence and calling into that thing into being, manifesting. So yeah, it's a bunch of different things. I mean, but it's not always like I don't have my sage. I don't really light my sage all the time. Sometimes I smudge, you know, I don't like really light it, sit in it. Because people think that's meditation all the time, and it's not. I mean, you can meditate in a room full of people. You know, you can meditate for a few seconds, and you can meditate for a few days. Like some of the monks do that for days in dark caves. So I don't really have a name for what it is, but I kind of feel like there are times that I need to either spend by myself or something kind of pushes my thoughts in a certain direction. I need to spend time focusing on it or focus on nothing. So yeah, I do a lot of that, but it's not like a methodical thing. Like I don't have a meditation guru or teacher who teaches me how to do those things. I kind of listen to my body and I am paying attention to my world, and that kind of drives what I end up doing. Bugs are better to watch than humans. They are, Dan. You can learn a lot from nature. We used to always observe nature to learn. I think we have to do more of that. My family and friends call my meditation spacing out, going to Kansas. That's where I'm originally from, Austin, Kansas. Yeah, and it's a good thing sometimes too. You meditate on the past, meditate on lands you've been to, things you've learned. Spacing out is meditation, right? Like when people space out, it's like, you know, are you here? Hello, how are you here? It's like, no, let that person go. Trish is gone. She going to Kansas. Shut up. Let her go. You know, and it's like, don't try to pull people back into the reality. Sometimes people got to step away. Let them step out. Let them step out and space out. Like you're in a conversation with someone, you're not somebody gets that glassy eye, you start talking about quantum physics or something. And they're just like, you start talking about the Federal Reserve and they're getting ready to go out and vote. They start glassy eye and they start space out. People got to space out. Let them space out. It's okay. They're not interested in the Federal Reserve. Let them fix the world the way they need to. I think we all come around to the right things anyway, in time. Pain prohibits me from sleep, so I naturally fall out each 7 to 10 days. Herbal medicine helps, as does a dose of melatonin. I'm lacking. I'm curious, Miss T, what herbs you use for that. I'm also curious where the pain came from, but I'm naturally a bit nosy. I ask questions that I probably shouldn't ask, but I think it's helpful to people. Then I think about like I guess what I'm thinking about is where the pain came from. Like, is it environmental? Is it damaging? Is it a pain that's sourced in oligarchy and poisoning the food and the water because it's profitable? You know, like I look at all the problems we have, and I just think about how unsustainable they are and how we wouldn't have them if we actually had either no government or a government that actually gave half a damn about any of this. It wasn't an oligarchy. I enjoy my trips to my happy place. Keeps me sane. And you gotta go there. You gotta go there, Trish. I'm the end on Trish's comment. Blankenship. I can't wait till y'all show come back. I miss your show, Trish. And y'all pass me some hints and secrets when y'all find what's at the bottom of that hole. What's the name of your show? Oak Island. Her family, they do Oak Island, y'all. That's no, I don't know. Blankenship. What's the last name? Those are the brothers digging down to the bottom of the hole. Ancient archaeology was up there in, on that island. But you gotta have your happy place. You gotta have your happy place, and you have to put your happy place, I think, in a place where nobody can get it. I think you need to put your happy place where the Republicans can't get it, and the Democrats can't get it, Muslims and leaders. You put your happy place in a place where nobody can get it. You'll be happy. If you put your happiness on a shelf where the government can get it, you put your happiness on a shelf where your friends can get it, you put happiness on a shelf where it's reachable by little people. Not awesome little people. Kids are awesome little people, but by little people, people of little stature, and they can grab it, they can control you. So everybody's got to have their escape. You got to make this nonsense that's not a utopia for many work. That's the only way we push forward. You know, they get us. They normalize the pains and the aggression and the anger and the things that are unsustainable to get that hate out of people. You know, you got to have a happy place. You got to put your joy in places where people can't get it. So anyway, start. I got to get going. Hiking is my meditation. Yeah, everybody's got to have something sustainable. Have something sustainable. I try to go into thoughtless awareness, just witness. All right. All right, get going. Y'all have a good weekend. Make sure you do some things that bring about joy. Happy hues. How you make people around you happy. If you're not happy, you gotta find something. You gotta find it. Get going. Love y'all to death. This year I'm about to go make my happy and get these Kentucky seeds in the ground. Y'all have a great day. Good weekend. Bye-bye. Utopia. Right. It's just paying it forward. That's all we need to do. Solve problems, pay it forward. The next generation is more important than we are. Gotta get going. Bye-bye.